Stay Bombad.
Welcome to the Bombadcast.
What is up, Bombad fam? Welcome to the Halloween special, the Bombadcast Spooktacular, Bombadcast, whatever you want to say. Here we are on All Hallows Eve to open the gates of hell. Or maybe, I don't know, read some stories. Let's do that. But, guys, we are a proud part of the Beyond the Blast Doors network. On the Beyond the Blast Doors network, you will not find tricks, but only treats. You will find a show for every person with a Star Wars fandom. You will find shows like Around the Galaxy with Pete Fletzer, Postcards from the Galaxy's Edge with Shannon, Hollow Chronicles with Josh and Andy, all about the world of Star Wars collecting. And Beyond the Blast Doors live with David Amilati, P. Fletzer, and our new friend Arsu. You can find all these and more on beyondtheblastdoors.com. And if you like our, as David says, Star Wars conversation, then you can become a Beyond the Blast Doors network patron. Yes, for starting at about, probably the price of a cup of coffee a month, which I hope you drink more than that if you have a little trouble getting up in the morning. You can support all the weird little stuff that we do here at Bombadcast and all the other shows on the network. And you might get a little extra. I know you will get extra content, actually. I better not say it the other way. But, guys, make sure to follow us at Bombadcast. Follow at Beyond the Blast Doors at BTBN online. Follow all the other shows. And with all the business out of the way, time to get spooky with my good fiend, Scotty Jarod. Scotty, look out. Scotty, look out behind you. The Kool-Aid Man's being reincarnated as one of those trees from the Wizard of Oz. Look out.
I thought you were...
It'll throw apples at you.
I thought you were referring to... Wait, I forgot how stupid that was in that movie. They are creepy, though. They're like latex trees, and they're like
man, yeah, I'm going to throw apples at you. I mean, that's the very definition of things that creep people on the internet out, though, is like they watch old movies, and because everything's so low tech, and they're doing things like they're like, what if that was in my basement and wanted to like F me or something? That's basically creepypasta.
That's pretty much this whole episode. We have a wonderful guest, though, and it's too difficult to switch back and forth between Jarod and me. So we got to bring in our guest right now. Our guest is the one and only Barry White, the white Barry White of Star Wars podcasting. Yes, I am referring to the one and only, a previous guest of the show, a friend of the Bombadcast, and a person that brings out not the Randy, like the Randy from the Rick episode, but the Randy that makes you want to be Randy, baby.
Randy, baby, yes. Broadcasting from a VHS found in a Japanese horror film library. It is Jarod the Dark Jedi.
What's going on, Jarod?
Oh my God.
Jarod, I'm glad you crawled out of the well to be here with us today. Just really hoping that you don't actually crawl through. Just hoping you don't crawl through the screen.
7 days. Oh no, the green screen's falling. Oh no!
Oh man!
I was laughing. Do not look at anything behind. Fuck it. Anyway,
you do not pay attention.
that fell, and it was too late. Hi,
really
everybody. I'm Jarod the Dark.
This is incredible. Just look at this madness. Everyone observe this madness. Oh,
Frank, you know what would be funny is if the curtain fell and you were just like right directly behind me. Like you could see like me broadcasting behind you or something. You're like, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
oh, look at this. This is just chaos. I love this. What a handsome guy.
What is Halloween but controlled
apologize.
chaos? You know what?
Perfect.
It's fine. It's fine. You know,
perfect.
guys, you look more like you're in a Japanese horror film now. So, it's fine.
Oh man, Jarod, glad to have you back, dude. Every time Jarod comes on, either something goes wrong or it gets just weird instantly, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's a response to Jarod, but Jarod brings out this weird thing in me.
I think it's the spirits. The spirits are all flowing around here.
Definitely, and
yeah.
Jared's audio is coming from a different dimension as well.
Yes,
Jarod is where is Jared's audio is coming from?
Jared's audio seems to be coming from the world between worlds, I think.
Yes.
So
his video is from a Japanese.
All of it is. That's why everything's so distorted.
Yeah.
It's all the lightning on Exegol. I personally went to Exegol to bring Ben Solo back.
There you go.
Did it work?
I took it myself.
What's the status of that? What's the status of Ben?
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay. We'll take that. That's good enough.
It's top
Enough
secret.
emails for Rick McCallum to get anything to come back, just like the special editions. The scariest of the Star Wars. The worst. Anyway, Jarod. Jarod, you always come on the Bombadcast. It seems like it's a once a month thing now. Jarod,
it's going to be now.
It's going to have to be.
I just decided that.
I like looking at the data right now. I'm pulling up the podcast feed. You've had a trial on here, which is a really weird thing to say, but Jarod the Dark Jedi's trial is
he passed his great trial. He did pass his great trial.
We had Jarod on to also talk about let's see.
Oh, he disappeared. This is the most magic.
I got stuck under the green screen.
This is the most magic that the Bombadcast has ever been.
Look at this. This is incredible.
This is fantastic. Hey, you know what?
Real
peek behind the it's a peek behind the curtain, man. That's fine. Audio listeners are going to be none the wiser. Which is, I don't know why we have any more audio listeners to this podcast.
Look at this. Is incredible.
It is amazing. If you are listening to the podcast right now, which it's good. It's good. Like, hey, shut yourself in a dark room and get ready to get creepy. That's good. That's good.
That is the point of this.
But there is you should always go back and watch. It pays to go and watch the actual video from every episode. So
it does.
Just FYI, you're going to want to check out especially the video for this one. So,
Jarod. You've been on episodes of Bombad.
Yeah.
They've been fun. We've been on Nerd Academy. It's been a blast. But I want to talk about the big thing. Why do we all love Halloween? Because I think each person here has a weird connection with Halloween. Jerry's from a polygamist, like they don't believe in pumpkin patches or anything kind of family.
Why are we polygamous then?
They don't believe in pumpkin
It's
patches.
like some weird cult. Or something.
They call it Harvest Fest, where they harvest the organs of small children and homeless people.
They're all fake, like this one right here. That's fake. It's plastic.
It's plastic.
Pumpkin patches are a myth progenerated by the liberal media.
Every year, the Democrats go to every pumpkin patch and they put a bunch of plastic pumpkins in there. And they want us to believe that giant orange, bumpy basketball-looking things actually exist. Bull crap. You can't fool me, lizard people.
You see, now that the entire city of Portland has been burnt to the down by the Antifa super soldiers, the radical left is just going to plant a huge pumpkin patch in the fiery grave of Portland, Oregon.
That's it.
Yes, and those pumpkins are all filled with estrogen and they are meant to turn you gay. So watch out. That's all we're going to say.
They're putting chemicals in the pumpkins to turn the...
Chemtrails, man. Chemtrails.
Happy Halloween, kids.
Happy Halloween, everyone. Whoa.
Jarod, before we go on to the main topic of the show, bud, tell us about your podcast for anyone that has not had the opportunity or given themselves the incredible opportunity to listen.
Yeah,
Jarod,
what are you doing here
with your show? Always
so
busy.
The Nerd Academy podcast is the little network that I am kind of like the lead host and producer on. Not producer, that's definitely Joel. But we have our main show, the Nerd Academy podcast, which you won't have to put up with too much of this green screen nonsense because it is audio only. You're welcome. But on the Nerd Academy podcast, we mostly talk entertainment news of all varieties. We have a Star Wars specific show called Knights of the Nerd Republic, which has been graced by Jerry and Scotty a few times. We actually just had Jerry on for this last episode reviewing Star Wars Squadrons. So go check that out, Bombad fam. We had a lot of fun. And then we have a bi-weekly show called Campus Life, which is just us kind of riffing, telling stories from our week. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I would absolutely love to have some of you guys migrate on over to the Nerd Academy and check out what we got going on.
It's a great set of, I guess, orders. Is that the word when you speak? You're an order? Is that
I think that's what the kids say. No,
that's what the youth of today speak. No, they are no cap fam. It's lit squad. But that podcast is straight dope, my brony. It's got all TikToks and stuff. They got all kinds of fantastic
TikToks, flick flocks, big box, and wickwalks.
Yeah, they're all like super sexual and cool on there, man. You need to give it a listen at the Nerd Academy. They're totally brojotive.
Brojotive?
No, in all seriousness, Nerd Academy to me is like a charcuterie board. There's all different types of flavors that combine into
charcuterie.
Yes, a charcuterie. That should be literally what you put as your podcast. Like, like if they said Scotty Jarod says it's like a charcuterie board or whatever.
Like those taglines they put on DVDs.
Yeah.
Stuff. Because we merit that. Yeah, sure. I do like the charcuterie board of nerd pods. So it is a fantastic sampling, though. You guys do a lot of really good quality shows over there. I'm not just saying it because I was on the last one. In fact, you gave everyone a heads up of which episode they can skip. So there you go. No, pull away. I'm not going to talk any longer. What the heck are you doing, man? Let's be professional about this, because nothing about this podcast doesn't scream professional.
Yes, exactly.
Double negatives.
Okay.
I know.
So, Jerry,
like the teacher's brain.
Why are you on your phone? Number one, and Jerry, number two. I can see it in your glasses. Number two, why don't you tell us? Why don't you tell us about why you chose to do this episode? In all seriousness, this is your brainchild. Just on his phone.
Sorry, Dad. I just
I can see him texting.
I'm not texting. I'm sexting. No. So I don't know. When I realized that our pod for this last Saturday in October is on like Halloween, I was like, gosh, we got to do something. And we were kind of trying to think. We were thinking about doing stuff, like we were thinking about doing certain different things. We were thinking about doing an Ewok month, and then we realized that Blast Points did an Ewok month, right? Literally the month before we were gonna do it. So we were like,
dead serious.
Shoot, we still love you guys. We still love Blast Points, but coming for you. No, I'm just kidding. There can be only one Michigan podcaster. I'm sorry, all Loro and all you guys who are up here. But anyway, I was just like, let's do something like super Bombadcast and fun. Like, what can we do that is just a little bit Halloweenish, but having fun and a little Star Wars related? Because that's, if you described our podcast in any way, I would say it's a little Star Wars related here and there. But I said, why don't we do me and Jarod,
especially when the morph suits and Elvis costumes come out.
Yes. We should have just re-released that episode, you know? I mean, at Christmas, we can just do a clip show or whatever, you know?
Yes.
Holy crap, we're going to do it. Stephen Colbert actually just did a clip show about the campaign, and it was absolutely fantastic. They had this dude who used to be on, like, Boston Legal and stuff doing the in-between. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But Jarod and I are listeners of a podcast called The Last Podcast on the Left, and so they do every now and then little creepypasta episodes. And I love the Halloween season. I love getting like spooked a little bit. And as you know, me and Scotty, we have if you're a patron of Beyond the Blast Doors, you know we have we should have if it's not come out, it'll be coming out soon. Mm-hmm. An episode about spooky-ish kind of true encounters with weird things and stuff. And so I'm all into that kind of supernatural, weird, unexplained stuff. And gosh, I don't know, I'm just ready to get spooky, man. I love having fun, getting spooky and all that kind of stuff. So
but what was the idea for the show? Because you just talked about, you didn't really kind of go into detail as to why we submitted or who submitted what or what's going on. So like why what do we have?
That was the genesis. If you would let me speak.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You sentient lump of chewing gum. I don't know where. I couldn't think of anything. I don't know what that even means. I love you. You're beautiful and precious to me. I really chapped your lips, huh? Woo! Take that as you will.
Kinky.
Yeah. But today, guys, we're going to read your listener and some special submitted by, who knows, people from the network, creepypastas. Ooh, and what is a creepypasta, you might be asking?
Yeah.
It is not possessed rigatoni or anything like that. And I won't do, there's a thing they do on Last Podcast on the Left where they call it spooky spaghetti and like macabre macaroni and stuff like that. I'm not going to steal their stuff. But
what about sad shrimp scampi?
Sad shrimp scampi?
Don't talk about shrimp, because then we're getting dangerously close to the Scangili man.
Oh, no. If you're a listener to Last Podcast on the Left, that is basically a tulpa that has been created. It's essentially like Scotty, in case you know. If you don't know who Scangili man is, he's essentially a Scangili, like the Italian dish, themed. What's the name of the guy? What's the internet? Slenderman, Mr. Slenderman,
my God,
attorney at law, and it's kind of went off, and there's art and stuff you can look up about Scangili Man, and anytime anyone talks to it, it becomes more real. So watch out sick. If you start smelling some garlic and seafood. Watch out behind you and listen to Last Podcast on the Left. There's some fun dudes talk about true crime, paranormal stuff, all kinds of fun stuff. So. But anyway, I've been talking way too much.
No. It's something that's important because we need to explain to several of the boomers we know what creepypastas are. By boomers, I mean Pete Fletzer.
Pete Fletzer.
He's like, what is a creepypasta?
Sorry. I think I have some youth cut in my throat.
So wait.
I love Pete so much. I would walk through fire for Pete Fletzer. But that was funny as hell.
So wait, have any of y'all actually ever read a creepypasta that freaked you out? I remember being in high school reading one, and I was like, nope, not for me.
When I first discovered them, and I think my brother-in-law first kind of got me into it, but there were a couple that I would tell different places because they were like, I was like, ooh, that's spooky. I like that. But something that has happened when something first starts, it's great. But when anyone can copy paste a story and write a story and all that, and they get younger and younger, it tends to get a little hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Stuff. That's something that the Last Podcast guys, they will always find the worst ones too. Like they have running jokes from years back where they found one there. It said like, the end that's supposed to be the scary line. If your dad's dead, then who was phone and stuff. That's part of the fun, is reading it exactly how it is like typed out. But here's the thing, guys. There's little to no Star Wars creepypasta out there. You look it up, there's like maybe 2-ish stories, and they're,
Yeah. And Star Wars gives credence to the creepy, and most people don't want to admit that, but like, you know, Maul is one of the scariest characters of all time, and I'm pretty sure they based the Insidious
I was gonna say that's why they put him in Insidious.
Yeah, right? Exactly. You know, like Maul is demonic, and even the one that you've all seen the concept art of Maul before, like George was like, okay, that's a little too scary. There's that one shot of like the hair in the face, and it's just like terrifying.
George was just really scared of anybody who shopped at Hot Topic, frankly. That's all, and I feel a little. I feel a little.
Wait till he gets a load of me.
Wait till he gets a load of me. Because that used to be me. I used to have the hair in the face and all that kind of stuff. I'm very emo. Here's the thing, though. We wanted to open the floodgates, right? Because there's not much Star Wars stuff that you can talk about and everything. But back to Darth Maul.
Yeah,
nothing's creepier than him with spider legs.
That is terrifying.
And like with the long horns.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like on the trash planet that's burning and stuff. Like that's a portrait of hell, my friend.
Yeah. Jared, is there any scary moments?
It gives me gas
Wars?
just thinking about it. I'm so scared.
Jared, what about you? Any particular creepy things from Star Wars that you like to talk about or think about?
So I have like the content answer, and then the little kid Jarod was a scared answer.
Okay.
We like both of those.
Whenever I was a kid, I had this Darth Maul poster that was cool as shit. Mm-hmm. And like I said, like as a kid, Phantom Menace was my jam, and because of Star Wars Obi-Wan, little Jarod just kind of walked through the house just humming Duel of the Fates all the time. But this Darth Maul poster at night was horrific. Mm-hmm. Especially to a very small child. Just like, because like every time I turn around, it looked like it was moving. That like the angle of which he was holding his lightsaber was slightly different, and I was like,
maybe it was.
And then one night I woke up from having a nightmare, and my mom could hear freaking out, and she was like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Oh, Darth Maul scared." And then she just like reached over and just in one fell swoop just the poster down, because I was scared. But I also almost never got into Star Wars, because when my dad first tried to show me A New Hope, very different timeline. When my dad first tried to show me A New Hope, I was like, oh, this is kind of freaking me out. Like I was kind of overwhelmed by the firefight in the hallway of the Tantive V4. And then Vader walked out, and I was like, nope, no, nuh-uh.
Tap out.
It works,
please,
though.
I'm done.
Yeah. That's amazing.
But as far as like actual scary Star Wars content, Star Wars Death Troopers is underrated. Like I think it's become one of those things that like everybody knows about it, because the worst kind of Star Wars YouTubers have all made 30 videos just saying in Star Wars Legends there was a book where there were zombie stormtroopers. I will not elaborate any further except to make this same video again in 3 months. But as somebody
I couldn't make it through that. I couldn't make it through that book. Oh man, I couldn't make it through it, man.
I've been thinking about picking it back up, but
I got to the part where
but it was really good.
Oh man, I got to the part where the baby Wookiee, spoiler alert, the baby Wookiee's parents start eating it, and I was like, nope, done. That's too horrifying. That's sad and horrifying. That's my least favorite kind of horror, is sad and horrifying.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I found that I really enjoyed that. I know there's a book called Star Wars Red Harvest, which is basically like a zombie contagion breaks out at like a Sith Academy.
That's one thing that popped up when I googled
Which I
Star
never
Wars creepypasta.
Yeah, because again, we're gonna make the same video 8 times, and it goes, "Did you know there was a Sith zombie outbreak? All I did was read the back of the book, so I'm not going to give you any further detail."
That's amazing.
So
But they didn't once call them laser
I'm not
swords.
naming names, but you know. Listen, if I got a nickel for every video that comes up in my recommended feed that has a title that's like "The Forbidden Lightsaber Technique X Character Used to Kill X Character," would be able to buy Lucasfilm from Disney. Like, it's all the same content. If you want the Star Wars creepypasta, just spend too long on Star Wars YouTube, because it's it's just like, because you get stuck in the simulation. You get like, it's either like horrifying like Fandom Menace think pieces about how like if you have a vagina you shouldn't be allowed to wield a lightsaber, or it's just like it's the same 5 videos about like, did you know he force pushed the guy, and then that's it.
Oh my
Or how
God.
Force Run is overrated. They never use Force Sprint again. Why did they ever use the...
Oh my God.
Those are the best,
Listen,
though.
George Lucas was right. This story is like poetry. It rhymes. Why didn't Obi-Wan use force speed to save Qui-Gon is not around anymore.
Because
and now
then
it's,
the
well, why
story
didn't
wouldn't
X
be what it
character use
was?
force heal on X character?
Oh, it's great. I would have loved if Obi-Wan
It's always the same thing over and over again.
Qui-Gon fell down the hole and died. That'd been even funnier. He causes the death of his master. It'd be perfect.
Oh, man.
Top 10 greatest hockey fails of all time. Just
Yeah. Well, we're just doing the whole podcast on that now. Like, what if Obi-Wan like threw himself in front of the blade or something and used?
Oh, I'd
force
love to
sprint,
do a
like
what
people
if
were saying.
episode.
Yeah. Well,
man.
here's the thing that you mentioned. Okay, I think, and I haven't talked to Scotty about this, but I think this is going to become a tradition at the Bombadcast, frankly.
Oh, I hope it does. Yeah.
So we're gonna fill the internet.
I hope so, too.
Useless Star Wars creepypasta that probably no one else is gonna read, but it'll be because it deserves to be there, right?
Yeah.
But next time, someone, and maybe I'll do it. Someone write a creepypasta about getting lost on Star Wars YouTube.
That's good.
That's what I was wanting. Like, be a little meta or be like in universe. Either way,
My story, Jerry, you're gonna love it because it gets really meta very quickly, and then
I'm
it
so
just kind
excited.
of goes away. But
we got a story. We got a story about Randy, who is our
Yes.
best friend now. And now, Jared, I don't know if you got to listen to that episode, if you know who Randy is, but Randy is
A man
probably
that
a
works
biller
at
fan
Lowe's.
than anyone who is alive right now.
So, Jared, to get you caught up, there was a man named Randy that I met at Lowe's, and he was very nice for half of it. And then he was telling me how I was not a real fan because I did not see the originals in theaters when they released.
Well, he was a bigger fan than you because his
Yes.
dad had sex with his mom before yours.
Yes.
Because yours were probably kids then.
No, but wait. The best part is he was telling me that, and then whenever I brought
He
up
was a
what Star Wars
zygote before
I
you
love-
were a zygote.
Yeah, exactly. No, I brought up that the prequels were my favorite thing, and he straight up was like, "All right, have a good day," and turned away from Lowe's and walked away from me. And I was like, "What just happened?" I just got like mansplained, and I got like nowhere at the same time.
You got
God.
fansplained.
I got fansplained by a man. I got man fansplained.
So I don't know if like I don't know as much like intensive research and infiltration I've done on the Fandom Menace. I don't know if they
love you
have
so
titles the way that like the Ku Klux Klan does.
Grand
But
Wizard.
like I feel like Randy has the Fandom Menace equivalent of being like Ultra Grand Cyclops or whatever of the Fandom Menace. Like that's like
no, because they are all about like the EU. He's Ultra Gland. Gland.
Nice. He's the endocrine.
Ultra Grand Triclops. Only real fans get that. He wears the glove of Darth Vader.
Oh, now I get it. That took me a second.
Triclops, man. He's the son of Palpatine, and he had 3 eyes because why not? It's space.
That's funny. But anyway.
Ray
I love that pause. We're all like.
Anyway, so with this episode, we're going to get started now. We got the 30-minute mark just about, and we're going to talk about these creepypastas. So what we're going to do, fellas, is we're going to each go through one. Make sure you have the Bombad page pulled up. I have it as Boobad Halloween Special. It's a Google Drive folder. Okay, I'll do the first one. Okay, the first one's going to be by Michael at All Remaining Systems. So we're going to go through each one of Michael's stories. Michael wrote 3. Thank you so much, Michael. We're very happy to have you on and do this. And we're going to end up going through all 3 of his. Divorce at one end. I made one. Cam Ray listed one, or he made a song version, or not even a song, like an audio version. And so did Pete Fletzer. So what we're going to do is I'm going to read the first one, Randy. I'll let Jarod read the next one, The Dead Speak. And then Jerry will do Faceless Puppet.
You would take the Randy one. Do you want to do Randy? No. Okay. I don't want it as an afterthought.
Okay. Well,
No. You know what? Because Randy lives inside all of our hearts.
That's true.
Also, guys, by the time you're listening to this, I may have already posted it, but check the Bombadcast store because there might be some Randy merch on the way.
Nice.
So, but, buddy.
Jarod, do you see the stories?
Hey, real quick. I was actually going to ask, can you send me the folder?
Sure, I can do that right now.
Whoa!
Because all I have is the show notes.
Give me 1 second.
Guys!
And you know me so well. You knew to give me the story titled The Dead Speak. I love you.
Yes. I got you. Hold on.
Yeah, you know me so much too, Scotty.
The StreamYard chat. I got you in the StreamYard chats. Just copy and paste that, and it should be right there, bud.
Yeah,
But I'll get started on the Randy one. The Randy one is incredible. The beginning is so good. So this is by our friend Michael at All Remaining Systems. He has been a fan of the show since day one. Michael is the best of one of the best BTBD. I believe, is he a patron for BTBD?
Yes, he is.
Okay,
he has his own podcast too, right?
Yes,
did you say that already?
I think so. Maybe Jerry.
I'm so scared. I've got gas. I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ.
I love you, Michael.
But I'll get started on this one. This is by Michael at All Remaining Systems. All right, you ready? Jarod, you got your stuff pulled up now, bud?
I'm ready. Yeah. Let's go,
Jerry
teacher.
Too? Yep.
Let's go, Dad.
Okay, cool. Here we go. This is the beginning of the Star Wars creepypasta.
Get creepy, guys. Turn down the lights.
All right, here we go. This is called Randy by Michael at All Remaining Systems.
Ooh.
Let me get my sensitivity turned up my mic so y'all can hear some nice crispy mouth smacking. Here we go.
You like to be as sensitive as possible, don't you?
I do. Ready? Here we go. My heartbeat pounds through my ears as I run down the aisles of Lowe's. Sweat sticks to my Rick McCallum t-shirt as I attempt to evade the creature that pursues me. I glance back for a mere moment and catch the glimpse of my pursuer. He is closing the distance. His eyes are bloodshot, and his bearded neck is inflating in involuntary celibate rage.
Celibate rage.
Celibate Rage. Hold on. Celibate Rage is a sick metal name.
Okay.
The pumpkin has to be Celibate Rage. Oh my god.
Let me go back. His eyes are bloodshot, and his bearded neck is inflating involuntary celibate rage. His nostrils flare as he sees my shirt and its association with the prequel trilogy. His rage intensifies, and he gets faster. Dang it, I can't read this. His rage intensifies, and he gets faster as it fuels him. He is wielding a weapon familiar to. Jesus, I can't read this.
Do you want me to read it?
No, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Hold on. I don't even know how I'm going to do this. All right.
You got it. He
is wielding a weapon familiar to me. A silver hilt with a shining blue blade. Ray's lightsaber. I think to myself, the eyes of my pursuer immediately widen as I realize my mistake. His kind are able to sense any thoughts about a female character. Fury fights. That is lightsaber. He yells in defiance. Though I try to escape, he is too fast. There is no escape from Randy. As he pins me against the wall, pure fear consumes me, and I lose control of my body and begin to helplessly farting like an Eopie at a pod race. The smell, however, was not very effective. His kind was immune to any sort of unpleasant bodily smells. I have run out of tricks, and there is nowhere to run. He raises the blade above his head, ready to strike. I close my eyes, and his last words to me are, "Have a nice day, sir." Guys, Michael, that was probably one of the greatest I've ever heard.
Beautiful. Jeez. Bravo-tissimo, sir. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's the hardest I've laughed in a very long time.
Oh my gosh. Randy has unwittingly become part of the Bombadcast lore. Like oh my gosh. And Rick Villanueva, when he was on, when we talked about Randy, he said that he probably looks like Hrothgar Deng from Rise of Skywalker, which is the robot guy with like the blobfish head who people think is Dengar.
Dengar.
It's not far off. We'll say it's not far off.
That is amazing, Michael. That was a good one to kick this off with because it was funny and it was scary at the same exact time. He's a good writer.
That was fantastic, man.
That was great writing. Mine's nowhere near that good. That was incredible.
Oh my gosh.
I use too much adjectives. This guy just knows how to write a great story. Michael, you killed it. So Jarod, we're gonna have you go on next, do yours, and I believe Jarod gets the dead speak. So, Jarod, if you have it, or the dead spoke.
I'm very happy.
If you're ready to read yours, that'd be amazing. But Michael, you're killing it. That was hilarious. That was genuinely so funny. And if you don't mind,
that was damn good.
We will screenshot these and have these posted for Halloween so everyone can see your story.
Well, and I was wondering, maybe we'll talk to David or something and see if we can put them on the Beyond the Blast Doors website.
Oh, that would be genius. Halloween. That would be so deserved.
There you go. They deserve to be on the internet. They deserve to be on the internet, especially that one.
Real quick, have a favorite moment from that one? My favorite moment was the like the pulsating neck and just
I imagine like a frog's neck, but like with neck beard on it. Pulsating with celibate rage is probably that could become a t-shirt in and of itself because like that is celibate rage is like I would drink from a coffee cup with that on it, you know? That's almost as good as fanboy tears.
I know people whom I would get that coffee cup for.
That's awesome.
Celibate rage.
So, Jarod, that's going to be. Did you have a favorite section from that or no? That one was amazing. Oh my god.
Jarod, can you hear us?
You guys ready?
Yeah. What was your favorite part from that one, though?
Yes, I could hear. Okay. Celibate rage, hands down. That was just okay. It was too good.
I could say, it was almost.
I just couldn't follow anything up.
Right. Second place would be he can sense the thoughts of anyone who's thinking of a female character.
Yes, that was incredible.
That was amazing.
Oh, that's good.
Absolutely.
But if you're ready, Jarod, you got to pull it up. We'll let you read this next one. The Dead Spoke.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Also by Michael, so we'll get Jarod on the biggest screen.
All right. All right.
Nervous.
The dead spoke. It spoke for many years, a whisper in the back of your head. Sometimes it was your friend. Sometimes it was your tormentor. But it was always there, in the shadows of your drawing you to the places you dare not to think on your own. Eventually, the voice won. You gave in to its desires and cast aside the light in favor of the darkness that it offered. It led you to the evil one sharing that voice. The evil one enslaved you, a friend no longer. The evil one made you destroy that which you once loved, only to have you turn against him and destroy him in turn. Twisted and scarred, you became the evil one. And yet, the voice persisted. It grew stronger, until others across the stars could hear its sinister voice. You hunted relentlessly, before finding it in its sanctuary of darkness. A rotting corpse, a specter, a ghost of gray and powerful evil. He was the voice. He continues to whisper offerings and temptations. His resources are great, and thus he is spared you from your wrath. He is spared from your wrath. But when the time is right, this shadow could easily be slain, just as you slew his echo. After all, what could this shell of evil compare to the evil it has made you?
Dang, that's just Lucasfilm. That's just a great excerpt from like a novel about Kylo Ren, like Ben Solo's rise to be Kylo Ren or fall.
You're a great reader. I will say that.
Dude,
that was nice. Man.
I love that though. This shadow could be slain like I slew its echo. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That is.
I would consider that again.
Yeah, I was just getting chills.
Good.
I was getting chills. That was just good, Michael.
Agreed.
Damn, man. Good job. Like, oh, holy crap. That's, and I was watching Rise of Skywalker the other night, just a little bit, just had it on while I was doing other things. I've been reading the, I have it right here, the Star Wars book, very easily named for people who, need to remember things like me. That's a good Halloween one to watch. Like, it's a good one for Halloween. Not only because a lot of people, the people who don't like it are scared. You're like, no, not Rise of Skywalker. But also just because it's got a lot of, like, you got zombie Palpatine hanging from, like, I don't know. It's like
Omen harness.
It's like Omen harness, but I was gonna say it's like a Toy Story, like the claw arm for a claw machine and stuff, but you're pulling up like a rotten man. Like, congratulations, your prize is a corpse. But anyway, spooky. Exegol.
Here is a dead head of state.
Yeah. Here, we took Trump, killed him, brought him back to life with devil magic, and he wants to live inside your body. He put his soul inside your body.
Amazing. Oh my God, that's great.
But anyway, man,
if you let Trump do essence transfer on you, all you do is eat KFC and drink Diet Coke. Like, that's the tell. Once he's sunken his claws into you.
You better get used to the smell of burger farts for the rest of your life.
What could you give me?
Everything. I can give you everything. It's huge. I could give you more than anyone's ever given anyone. I'm the most giving of anyone who I've ever seen, but I can't really see anyone around here in Exegol because it's very dark. It's very dark. I can't see anyone. But yes, I've got all my people. Eric, give him a burger. Bring him a Big Mac.
That's amazing.
That's it.
No, I love that. Jarod. You did a fantastic job.
Well, that was fantastic.
Thank you very much.
That was great.
You, sir.
Thank you. Thank you to Michael, who's a phenomenal writer.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
It's beautiful. Jarod, you have not only a voice for radio, but but your face is beautiful. That's what I was going to say. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
It's never going to go away now. So, Jerry, you do our next one by Michael. It's called Faceless Puppet. Okay. I'm excited to hear this one. Honestly, I didn't read or look at any of these before we started. So me
either. We want to be surprised. We want to be surprised.
Oh, this is good. There's 2 parts. Jerry, you do both parts, okay?
Okay.
All right.
should I do the whole a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, like
Mark Thompson.
Mark Thompson, man. Come on our show. Come on our show, Mark. Okay. Here we go, guys. Faceless Puppet, Part 1. Hiding behind one of the cushioned chairs in the darkened chamber, Caleb, with a K. That's not in there, but I decided to put it in there because this is Star Wars. Stayed very still and hoped to remain unnoticed. He had seen the army led by a shadowy figure march into the Jedi temple a few minutes ago. Caleb wondered if that was the Sith he could sense the masters feared. He never understood what kind of being could be powerful or sinister enough to strike such fear in his teachers. When he saw the enigmatic figure cut down the temple guards with ease, he understood their fear. The sounds of blaster fire continued nonstop. Screams of pain and death pierced his ears. Caleb was too gripped by fear, even to think about trying to calm his emotions. His Jedi training would do him no good. If the fully trained Jedi Knights and Masters were dying out there, his only chance would be to rely on survival instinct. He had to keep hiding, or else he would die. Death then entered the room. It wore an ill-fitting suit of shining white armor. Its footsteps were the only noise in this room of silence. It did not speak, even as it discovered Caleb behind the chair. Caleb looked up. He did not look at the barrel of the blaster, but instead tried to lock eyes with death. However, he could not see its eyes beyond the visor of its helm. It was faceless, with no emotions. It acted without rage or remorse, and in a bright flash, death fulfilled its duty. There's part 1, guys. All right. Whoa, just a fun-loving Halloween. Here we go. Part 2. This is horrifying.
That was scary as hell.
Oh my God. This is genius. I'm interrupting. Part 2.
No, this is fantastic.
I just need to say right now, part 2 is written like looking at the text. This was clearly meant to be a creepypasta.
Dude.
That was meant to be like, oh, wow. That's really good. That is really good.
This is fantastic, Michael.
Damn.
You're like blowing us all away, man. Blowing us all away. Sorry. I felt I had to.
Genius.
I had to cut the tension there. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Again, we're gonna try to get these posted on the BeyondTheBlastDoorsNetwork.com website. So here we go. Part 2. Faceless Puppet. Storm's body continued to march, though he did not move his legs. His arms continued to move. His arms continued to move his blaster, though he did not aim it. His blaster continued to fire, though he did not pull the trigger. He did all of these things, but he did not do these things. He was but a puppet, carrying out orders he did not understand. What am I doing? The Jedi aren't my enemy. I fought alongside of them for years. Good soldiers follow orders. Storm watched as his body continued to move, shoot, and search. He could not control it, and was helpless to stop it. He wanted to resist. There was something deep in his mind that knew it wasn't right. This wasn't right. But it was drowned out by orders. And good soldiers followed orders. Storm's body entered the seemingly empty room as he continued his hunt. His body began to overturn chairs as it hunted its prey. Storm didn't want to find anything. He wanted whatever was happening to end. He wanted his body back before it could do any more harm. But when he saw something hiding behind the chair, he knew it would continue. He's unarmed. He's not even fully trained. Run, fight. Don't let this be your end. Good soldiers follow orders. His arms raised the blaster. The untrained Jedi looked in his eyes, searching for the man behind the helmet. Storm met the Jedi's gaze, but his thoughts and feelings could not pierce the veil that separated his mind from his body. I'm so sorry. Good soldiers follow orders. The finger squeezed the trigger. His body continued to march, and his mind continued to drown in thoughts that were not his own.
Michael, you are a writer. Dang.
I need a drink.
I've got to wipe.
That hurt.
I've got to wipe these tears. that was fantastic, man. That was like Get Out in Star Wars. Like when you think about like just the thought, how horrifying
it was the sunken
is it?
place.
How horrifying is it to think that there are these clones are people? That's what's different about clones in when people are like upset about clones. Clones in Star Wars aren't like clones like we see in other movies. It's like these are separate beings that have their own personalities, and they don't think they're the person from before. They are their own beings, right? And I love that whole thing in Clone Wars, right? Clone Wars brought us a lot of horror in Star Wars. Frankly, we didn't really talk about that. You've got like the Geonosian brainworms.
Oh yeah, Night Sisters.
The Night Sisters. You've got like all of these horrifying things of the galaxy. You know, there's the EU old book series Galaxy of Fear, but the whole like in Clone Wars, the whole arc about finding about the chips in the clones' heads. You think about how does a chip take away the personality? And it's almost horrifying and almost my head canon now that they're just trapped in a body that they can't. I almost don't want to think, because that's so sad to think about all of the clones that are like, but again, the stakes are high, you know, in this galaxy and all that. And that was, my gosh, that's almost my head canon now, is that they're not, the real people are in there. Mm-hmm. That it's just like, that chip just is like basically radio controlled, which makes Palpatine even more of a ginormous dick.
Yeah.
So
that was great.
Holy cow, Michael.
When you can find
Bravo.
a way to make Sidious more heinous, it is impressive.
Yeah. It seriously was Star Wars meets Get Out to me. That was I wasn't expecting like the whole like, I was like, okay, the kid gets killed, I get it. Okay, and then I'm like, okay, we're in the trooper's eyes now. It is brilliant. Again, we're gonna get these posted, man. You know what? I'm gonna post them on the website even if David doesn't want to. Come at me, David. Come at me. Wear your tank top and try to hit me.
No, Jarod, what did you think of that one,
David.
man? That was a good story.
Yeah, like I was saying, I read ahead a little bit, and right when I saw what am I doing? The Jedi aren't my enemy. I fought alongside them for years, but all scratched out.
Yes.
With the bold, good soldiers follow orders. I need a shower.
It's horrifying, but also like that kind of adds a dimension, frankly, to all the other clones, because the other clones, it's like all the clones we love, most of them, tragically we found out a lot of them are like, you know, still got actually changed, you know, but you think about that they're all good, they're all truly good, that they're being controlled.
Yeah.
And it adds a whole new dimension of horror and
that's good.
Absolute disdain for Palpatine. Like
that was some good Halloween. That was Chef's kiss. That
is going to become top tier Star Wars creepypasta, which is going to be a genre within creepypasta after we get these out.
Drop this. That was good.
The intrawebs. So
we're gonna reach out, make sure these get posted.
I am proud
fantastic.
to be.
Go ahead, buddy. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I'm just happy to be here at the genesis of the Star Wars creepypasta.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, there's a couple, right? Like the thing you mentioned was like something that I'd heard the red heritage or whatever. But there's Ewok genocide, which is essentially just like the scientists talking about how like that would have destroyed Endor. It would have killed it and stuff. But,
Yeah.
you know, tractor beams, Star Wars science. Who cares?
Yeah.
And then there was another one that was essentially the lost Star Wars movie that was only a YouTube video. You can check it out. I won't spoil it for you, but it's more just like a psychological thriller. It's not really like scary or anything.
Nah, not scary.
Yeah.
Jerry, or Jared, whoever wants to read it. We've got another one by Devore, okay? Dr. Devore.
Dr.
I'm a huge fan of the show. And Devore's title is called Post-Mortem, okay? Post-Mortem. And it's titled SW Creepypasta story. SW Creepypasta. If you want to, Jared, do you want to read that one? Because I'll read the next one because the next one's mine.
Hell yeah.
Or Jerry, do you want to read it? Whoever, either
way, let it. I just ruined everyone's day. with that other one.
It's great, though.
Me and Michael just ruined everyone's day. Go ahead.
Fantastic. Jared, you get this next one. It's called Post-Mortem.
All right,
by
cool.
Devore.
Dr. Devore. Thank you, sir. Go for it, buddy.
All right, let's roll. Darth Sidious let out a cry as he fell. His apprentice had betrayed him. His body would be obliterated once it hit the Death Star's reactor. Everything he had accumulated over the course of decades after decades of plotting was lost. His empire would die. He, however, would not. As he neared the end, Sidious calmed himself. He summoned the dark side as he never had before. All of his inquiries into the nature of the Force, his relentless pursuit of lore and artifacts of Jedi and Sith alike, had been but preparation for this moment. He knew where he had to go. It was all a matter of will. Sidious opened his eyes. He was floating in some kind of green viscous liquid. Other bodies, all of them nude like him, were packed tightly in around him, making it impossible to move. Without meaning to inhale some of the liquid, it was slimy and burned as it traveled down his throat. Sidious looked around. Every body bore his face, albeit younger and more dynamic version, closer to what it had been like before his duel with Mace Windu. Sidious let out a torrent of force lightning, scattering the tank and sending the bodies flying. The hooded cultists who had been busy at work let out shrieks and scurried away. Once over their initial shock, they realized what had happened. Cautiously yet reverently, they approached their master, who lay where the tank had stood, his body folded into itself. They went to lift him to his feet, but were pushed back. The liquid fell off his body in thick gelatinous globs as he stood. And when he went to take a step, he found that only his left leg would move. His right arm, too, was too stiff, bent to the elbow. He had yet to gain mastery over his new form. As he shuffled forward, back hunched, one of the cultists presented him with a black robe, bowing obsequiously. Wow, that's a good word.
That's fantastic.
He tossed the robe onto his body, the fabric sticking to his skin. Ignoring the cultists gathered around him, he approached another tank, occupied by an altogether different entity. Darth Sidious was home.
Ooh.
Yo, that was sick.
That is fantastic. Devore, fantastic. And we know you're a doctor. He is a doctor of vocabulary. That's what it is. So that is actually, you know what? That's not far off. It is confirmed that, that's what all of his pursuit of the artifacts and all that kind of stuff. It was to cheat death. We find out right here.
That's awesome.
So, oh man, that was amazing. I love that. And it made me like I could feel myself sucking down like viscous liquid. It was horrible and fantastic. That's just great. Like that should be, man, I can't wait honestly for that Palpatine preparing for Rise of Skywalker novel. I know it's kind of like I know people have had different feelings about Rise of Skywalker and stuff, and that's fine. It's totally fine. But I'm kind of excited. I want more of that. That's exactly, the first 2 pages I went to in this book were Palpatine and I can't think of words. The other entity that was mentioned at the end of the book, Snoke. That's his name.
Snoke.
Master Snoke.
That whole thing.
Snoke.
That whole thing was so good, especially the visual of the Force lightning like cracking open the glass. That's amazing.
Well, you've got like the whole like. It almost was a little Terminator when it's like him standing up and stuff, and the globs and stuff falling off. Meets Ghostbusters a little bit, you know. I couldn't help but think. You guys know I love Ghostbusters. I couldn't help think about like Bill Murray going "da," like trying to wipe it off on some books, you know.
If I have one criticism and one note, we did not get an answer to how hung Palpatine may or may not be. This is the moment to do it.
Well, now we know. See, we're famous for. We're not famous for this. We did the Palpatine sex math episode, right?
Yeah.
And
when he boned.
We did. Now we found out that he didn't bone. So is he like Ken down there? Like what's going on? I don't know. You know, like. I gotta think he's got some Palpatine.
We didn't bone that we know of.
No.
Yes.
No, that we know of. I mean, maybe in his earlier days, but let's see here, okay? Well, technically, his clone who was Rey's dad, you know, so.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Does that count?
Devore, you killed that. That was great.
All I'm saying.
That was amazing.
Devore, you killed it. I need you to edit it and just put one line in where it is just as he looked around at all these beings that shared his face and his monster dong.
Yeah.
And that is perfect. And that is perfect.
His Palpapine.
No.
I don't know, guys. His thirst for galactic domination really strikes me as small dick energy. I'm just saying.
Palpatine's got a throbbing massive cock.
Yeah, he's got like
all fascists have little pee-pees.
It's just like a button on top of a turtle shell or something.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Oh, I don't like thinking of that. Wrinkly too, and all burnt.
With I mean, it looks like you took like a 70s afro wig and like grayed it out and just like glued it to like right above it and stuff too. I mean,
Jesus
the man
Christ.
does not shave. The man does not. He does not manscape.
Do you ready for me to read my story?
You know what? Lay it on us, Scotty boy.
All right, here we go. Jarod, great job. My story is called Kilgonk.
Is this
Funny enough,
are you quitting Tarantino or something?
Yeah. No, funny enough, most of these stories either take place in the prequel trilogy or they're taking place right now, so far, from the ones we've heard. And in Tross in particular, just Tross.
That was the most Halloween of all of them, for real, man. You got
mine takes place. Mine takes place during Tross as well. So, but it's not what you would expect. It's called Kilgonk. Are you ready?
Nice. Bring it on.
It is a dark and damp night on Ajon Cloth.
Ooh, damp?
Let me come on
Sorry,
now.
sorry. I'll shut up. At least you didn't say moist. That's Imperial Senate's thing.
It is a dark and damp night on Ajon Coloss. Humidity fills the air, and the stir of small creatures can be heard deep into the forest. BB-8 rolls around the base camp just outside the cave, hiding the Tantive V4. Once he enters into the dark cave, he gazes upon this legendary ship and begins to recall a story that was told to him by R2-D2. When R2 was stationed on the Tantive V4 with 3PO over 30 years ago, there was a peculiar Gonk droid that resided with them on the ship during the Battle of Scarif. Although this Gonk droid didn't appear all that different than most other Gonk droids, it did have one particular characteristic. Instead of muttering the commonly used and familiar tone that is gonk, he actually said the word kill. R2 and 3PO always stayed far away from that droid, and when the Empire took over, they saw it as a sign to flee from the ship, never to worry about that droid again. Until now. BB-8 snaps back into reality whenever he heard off in the dark distance the quiet but recognizable noise of kill and the tone of the gonk droid's gonk. The droid couldn't believe it, so he rolls as fast as possible to wake up his friends from their power-charging hibernative state. R2-D2, what is this madness you've put into BB-8's memory banks, scaring him into thinking that this droid is still around? R2 lets out a long chirp, followed by several laughing tonal beats. They begin to traverse the area around the cave, close to the Tantive 4, and much to their surprise, there is a silhouette of a gonk droid in the dark and damp distance. The further they venture up to this figure, the tensions begin to rise, 3PO muttering the odds of surviving this event. All three droids are about 12 feet away from the gonk droid in a Western-style standoff under the Ajan Kloss moonlight. BB-8 lets out a roar of noises to frighten the gonk droid away, but all the gonk droid says is, kill. The standoff lasts for a few minutes until both BB-8 and the gonk droid get closer together within a few feet apart. But both droids continue to beep. But both droids continue to beep and kill back at each other without any realization of R2's sudden disappearance into the dark, damp night. A sneak attack happens towards the back of the gonk droid's box-like structure. R2 is again here to save the day in a last-minute effort to stop the gonk droid once and for all. R2 begins to pull the wires out the back of the gonk droid, but he's suddenly stopped by something very curious written on the back of his droid body. This gonk droid's full signet reads 666 TFM. And R2, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this.
The mark of the celibate, I believe they call that.
And R2 immediately recognizes these numbers and begins to pull the life out of his life-preserving battery. The gonk droid lets out a final message, but not very different from the original tone we have all heard before. This time is a full and haunting phrase of kill Kathleen Kennedy. BB-8, in a final ditch effort, rolls as fast as he can into the gonk droid and launches him off the side of a cliff into an uncertain darkness that is on John Kloss's forest. The entire way down, the phrase "kill Kathleen Kennedy" was heard quietly falling into what must have been a very gruesome death. The three droids that are completely satisfied go back into the cave where the sun is starting to slowly rise up. 3PO and his wise ways ask BB-8, what was the moral to this experience? After a few moments, BB-8 lets out several tones that translates into, no matter how scary something can be, just know it's one really insignificant voice that doesn't really matter to begin with.
There you go. A little bit of positivity.
So what I learned from that story is the internet will be a better place if I start pushing members of the Phantom Menace off a cliff.
That is
essentially
100% true.
Essentially, was the gonk droid powered by fanboy tears?
That would have been a good addition. That would have been. I can make an edit to that.
There you go. That's pretty good, Scotty. That's pretty good. I was like, you did 666 and then TFM, and it took me a second. I was like, I see what you did there.
I thought you would like that.
They try to build like a Stargate that goes into a dimension where Star Wars is real and take over like a gonk droids. I don't know. That's ridiculous.
What do you think of that, Jarod?
So good.
That was really fun. I think it was bold for you to do a creepypasta that wasn't really vague and ethereal about a main character.
Yes.
And then it was a really fun bait and switch, because at this point we're all expecting it to be some amount of actual oh, how are they going to stop this gonk droid?
Yeah.
And don't realize that it's a really elaborate joke about the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Until it's too late.
So did R2 get infected by this thing? Did you say that?
No, he just pulled out
okay.
his powers, and then his last thing was saying kill Kathleen.
Okay. I was for a second I thought that R2 said that. I was like, what? No R2, no R2. They can't have R2.
That would be a fear. That would actually make it a creepy pop.
That would make it creepy.
Mine was more of a parable, it seems.
I love though that you were doing the French pronunciation of Agent Class. We're going Agent Class.
Oh, I thought it was always
Jean-Claude Van Damme or something, kind of a thing.
Oh,
but
I wasn't gonna say anything. I thought it was Jean-Claude.
I thought you were just doing it. I loved it. I was like,
I thought that was the way you said it.
Agent Class.
That's what I thought.
Agent Class.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, you know what, Scotty? That is fantastic. That is fantastic. Give me a little bit of the Kathleen Kennedy is shot into the sun. Oh, yeah. That's shout out to our French listeners. Hey, good to see you guys.
We've had we've actually
just takes a big pull off a cigar. Just big pull off a cigar. Just you dumb American bastard.
we know you're sitting outside of a French cafe right now, masked up, of course, smoking a tiny.
Probably
thin
not, because France probably
smoking a tiny thin. Yeah, you guys are probably well past it for months. Smoking a tiny thin. There you go, Jarod. Good job, buddy. I don't have my. Hey, we do have on the Bombadcast theme store. See, you can get a Knights of the Nerd Republic one or a Nerd Academy mask. You can also at the Bombadcast shop on TeePublic get social distancing, which is a Jiao Yaoza mouth mask. I think I'm the sole owner right now, so. It is a little horrifying.
It's so genius. It's so genius.
Get it for Halloween. Go scare the people at your local grocery store.
If I wasn't if I wasn't too much of a shill and felt the need to only wear this one anywhere I went,
you should.
I hate you for being so smart to think of that. I was
Joe's my thing.
I looked at TeePublic. I looked at your TeePublic. I'm like, it's a fucking Joe Yaoza mask.
Social distancing was just like, that's fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Still available.
You guys are the best for a reason.
Thank you. You're so sweet. And there's going to be a Randy t-shirt in the next few days that I think everyone will love. Just saying. We're probably have multiple Randy shirts.
I plan on getting a Randy shirt.
Randy is becoming a part of our stuff. So, Scott, real quick, I actually found a Star Wars creepypasta that is, since I didn't write one, would you allow me to read a Star Wars creepypasta?
Yeah.
That I have found on the internet.
Yes.
And it's very short. There's a couple of them. I think there's a Raylo one actually, but I can't get into it. It's called My Master. And it's based. I think they said they took it from another It's based on a creepypasta, but they put Ray and Ben in it instead. So that's not as creative. You're not creative. I'm just kidding. You're creative.
I'm listening.
But this one actually, though, I think is what you were talking about. Yeah, go for that one. That was called.
Is it scary and horny?
It says it has graphic sexual content.
Oh God.
So, which I honestly wish I could get into because it would probably be great for me.
Yeah.
Very erotically. But I found Star Wars creepypasta Red Zero, which I think is you were saying something about like a zombie outbreak or something?
It was called Red Harvest.
Red Harvest, okay. Like Blue Harvest. I can't.
Yeah.
Star Wars. This is called Red Zero.
Very clever.
It might be the same thing, but it is written by Darth Grizzly. Okay. He must be from Canada. And I'm going to read his little intro Just a tiny, like, couple sentences, and then I'm going to get right into it. It's just like a couple paragraphs. So here we go. Without further ado, Red Zero. Hello, I'm Darth Grizzly, not me, him. I'm here to tell you a story that was kept classified by the Rebellion and the Empire for years since. But first, let's go back to Zero BBY to set the story. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the tale of Red Zero. So, I don't know why this guy isn't writing more stuff. My gosh, come on, man. That's a great intro. Darth Grizzly, yeah, you know, like he was Lord Mommon's, he cleaned Lord Mommon's toilets, I think. Yavin 4. If you're a listener, Darth Grizzly, I'm just kidding. Yavin 4, Zero BBY. The Battle of Yavin has begun. A squadron of X-Wings and Y-Wings take on the Death Star in order to destroy it before the Rebel base is blown up. It was close, but Red 5, Luke Skywalker, that is in parentheses in the story, so that's why I said it like that, manages to destroy the Death Star with help from the Falcon. Not Han Solo, the Falcon. A victory with many casualties, but one death was forgotten as soon as it happened. I'm going to read it as is, too. But one death was forgotten as it happened. His name was Alex Miles. Red Zero. Alex was a child of an Imperial family, but escaped from the Imperial Academy after causing a riot at the Academy. Did you know he's from the Imperial Academy? Because he came from the Academy. I mentioned it a couple times before. He was found, he was found, but it says he was founded by members, he was founded by rebel pilots in a stolen freighter. They saw potential in Miles, so they trained him to be an ace pilot. Unfortunately, he was rough, arrogant, and genuinely a cocky person, kind of like Jarod. He participated. Yeah. He participated in the Battle of Scarif and eventually Yavin. Sadly, due to his arrogance, he was shot out of the sky by TIE fighters. He never had a funeral. Because we know that about Star Wars, they never do a funeral. Not for Han Solo. Han Solo doesn't get a funeral. None of you guys get funerals, okay? Yeah. Don't even start the Fandom Menace about that.
Qui-Gon got one. Qui-Gon got one. Qui-Gon got everybody else.
Darth Vader got one. Yes. And I'm sure that YouTube. It's as if 1,000 voices on. Yes, Padme got one. It's as if 1,000 YouTube channels screamed and were suddenly silenced. Okay. Anyway, so he didn't get a funeral, just like all the other secondary characters. No one cares about him. Imperial Space 2 ABY. Ooh, now we've gone 2 years into the future. Somewhere in Imperial space, an ISD, parentheses, Imperial Star Destroyer, in case you didn't know, was doing a routine patrol around the system. Everything was clear in the scanners. That is, until the captain spotted an X-Wing about 3,000 meters from the bridge. The captain described the X-Wing as burned, broken, and wrecked. But, I don't know. You gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's free. That's not in the story. Just as the captain was about to order TIE fighters to take care of it, a transmission came. It was from the X-Wing. They played the transmission out loud. It said, "Remember me?" Then which I don't think anyone did. I don't know. I don't know if they did or not. Then the X-Wing charged to the bridge of the ship, full speed. The captain ordered to raise the shields on the bridge immediately, but it was too late. The X-Wing rammed the bridge in a dramatic way. It rammed the bridge in a dramatic way, which I don't know. Maybe he was like, "Wherefore art thou, rebellion," or something with a rebel pilot with like a skull. Or I don't know how it was. He rammed it in a dramatic way, which I guess you could just say ramming it is dramatic. That's dramatic. Destroying the ISD and everyone in it. However, the X-Wing came out unscathed. Ooh, Ghost X-Wing! A nearby Imperial shuttle, frightened, was preparing for a jump to hyperspace, but mysteriously the hyperdrive was malfunctioning. The car never starts. The car never starts in the horror movie. That's all I get. Just have the car running the whole time, okay? If you're going to a haunted house, have the car running. Don't turn it off, okay? It's just a thing, okay? So they can't start their shuttle. They can't go to hyperspace. Panicking, the shuttle sends a distress signal for help. ISD picks up the transmission from the shuttle, and it said, "Mayday, Mayday, this is Shuttle 5543. We're under attack from a rogue X-Wing. Location is Gah! Explosion." I don't know where that is. Gah! Explosion. Static. That's what it would sound like, I assume. Remember me. Or remember me? So he talked to the Imperial Star Destroyer. Both the shuttle and the ISD were destroyed by the X-Wing in minutes. Literal minutes. Legend has it, the X-Wing is still spotted by Rebel and Imperial pilots. Those who see it have the same transmission before being killed off. So I guess no one's... How do the stories persist? I'm being Jack Sparrow in this. And where do the stories come from? Remember me? Rebels identified the X-Wing as none other than Red Zero, Alex Miles. Since then, Red Zero has terrorized Rebel and Imperial forces for years, up to the days of the First Order. He is still out there waiting for his next target. Whoa! So, Ghost X-Wing. Ghost X-Wing. And I know I had a little fun with that.
That's a cool concept.
That's a cool concept. That's cool. It's like... I like different genres in Star Wars, right, and stuff. And I know I had a little fun with it and stuff, but that's just for entertainment value and all that kind of stuff. It's a good story.
I like ghost ships too. Ghost ships are pretty cool.
It has like that whole thing because Star Wars is like it's like pirates and cowboys kind of at the same time, right? Kind of old yet new at the same time, and so it does have that like of a ghost ship kind of coming to take revenge. But it's weird that it takes revenge on the... Well, I guess because they didn't give him a funeral. Moral of the story is, Kathleen, whoever writes a movie, make sure they put a funeral in every movie. For every person who dies in the film. We have to stop after every person dies and show that person's funeral in order to keep more ghost ships from popping up in the make believe universe and stuff. So.
Great finds, Jerry. I like that. That was a good one.
I will say this much.
That's just like one of the two stories.
Something like the ghost ship, and I'm sorry because there's a delay and I keep accidentally interrupting both of you. I apologize.
No, dude, you're fine. You ghost ship.
For mild shameless plug here, this past week, Travis and I recorded the latest episode of our new Patreon show, Heroic History 101, where we do reviews of older comic book stories. And for Halloween, we did Green Lantern Blackest Night.
Oh, and nice.
After hearing that story, I can't help but think of like what a Star Wars version of Blackest Night would be like. Where like, off the heels of this, because it's coming off the heels of Infinite Crisis, where, Aquaman's dead and Martian Manhunter's dead and Flash just came back to life and Batman's dead. All these characters, all these heroes across the board have died in the line of duty. And then the dead rise. Like
the dead speak.
The absolute terror that would be from like a zombified Grievous. Or
dude.
Like all of these just ghoulish villains coming back from the dead. Just anyway.
That would be pretty cool. Let's say Marvel, get on it, man. I know that was DC, but Marvel did, the Marvel Zombies and stuff, So, hey, let's get something like that going for Star Wars. Let's start the what if stories, right?
Definitely.
Spicy hot take.
Oh, bring it on. I
Deadpool
love
kills
hot
the
takes.
Marvel Universe is infinitely scarier than Marvel Zombies.
It is. It is. I've read that, and it's horrifying because it's like a slasher film. It's like if Deadpool's inner voice, Scotty, if you never read it, starts to tell him to go just kill everyone, and it is actually horrifying. So you got Deadpool being his funny stuff. It's horrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you something like that, yeah, that is way more horrifying. But something like those, like a comic run in Star Wars, would be fantastic and stuff. So, hey man.
So we've got our last two submissions we're going to get through real quick. We've got both audio. Cam Ray sent one that's 8 minutes long, and Pete Fletzer sent one that is only 4 minutes long. So
I said 2 minutes, Cam.
What should we do first?
Ah, man. I don't know. Are both of them serious?
I don't know. I haven't listened to either of them. I don't know. Let's do Pete's first. I'm gonna get it screen shared, and then we can close up the show with Cam's. All right.
Once again, I would like to reiterate that Pete Fletzer had to be told what a creepypasta was. So love you, Pete. Love you.
All right, hold on. I think I shared the wrong one. Give me 1 second. Let me share the other one.
Scotty, why are you, for the audio listeners, why are you looking at underwear for pigs?
Is that one of the things?
No, I don't know.
All right, here's Pete.
No.
Here's Pete.
I'm just trying to think of something.
Here we go. We're just gonna have our reactions on the screen. So whenever we hear Pete's, I need to click share audio. Dang it, I keep messing this up. Hold on.
Darn you, Scotty.
For anyone that's been listening, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I will say this has been one of my more favorite ones we've done in a while. I love stuff like this where people want to display their creativity and want to talk and hang out. So this one's titled, let me see, I have it on the show notes. It is titled, She Needs to Know. Okay?
Ooh.
So let's hear it, fellas. Here we go. I'm going to click play. About 4 minutes long. So hopefully, let me know if you can hear it, okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear it.
P. Fletzer, professional writer.
And audio recorder.
Yes.
Needs to Know.
He did write his own audio
Star
story.
Wars Creepypasta Story by Pete Fletzer.
Sound effects
We aren't
too?
meant to do much more than our programming. Just a probe droid, a Viper droid, if you will. Millions of my kind have been produced, pressed into pods, and propelled into the regions of space that the Empire has no intention of wasting valuable human resources on. Unless we find something. My programming told me that I was headed to a system that had been abandoned for several years. In fact, the prime planet in the system no longer existed on charts. As all probe droids do, I loaded all the information about the system I was visiting into my data unit so that I was able to identify variations and discrepancies. It is apparently classified information that the Alderaan asteroid belt was once a planet destroyed by a top-secret Imperial operation called Project Stardust. I was launched by the ISD Cacophony several days ago, and now, here I am, darting from rock to rock looking for something. My programming is such that I rarely am told what specifically to look for. I am only there to capture images and send alerts when something is out of the ordinary. And something is out of the ordinary. My circuits are picking up a strange energy field that is extremely unusual for the physics of an asteroid belt. I make my way over to a particularly large chunk of debris. It seems to be the remains of a man-made structure. As I approach, my auditory unit picks up the sound of a shrieking human. I immediately enter this information into my report packet as my auditory senses should not hear anything in open space. I shall transmit it with the full statement upon completion of my mission. I drift closer to the wreckage and am able to deduce from the historical records that this is the wall of a palace, apparently the residence of the royal family at the time of the planet's destruction. I make my way safely to the floating rampart, and once again I hear the human voice, but this time it appears to be speaking basic. The words are still indiscernible. I continue to make my way around the remains, and my visual sensor identifies a blue blur in the distance. I attempt to get a reading, but it is undetectable by any of my 607 scanning units. I begin moving toward it, but it moves on me faster. As it peers at me, the voice returns. The The aperture of the large optical lens on my mechanical head widens to allow more of the light in. Based on my databanks, the sprightly image resembles a human female. Every circuit in my system is attempting to make the image compute, but as I am in open space and a human being cannot survive these conditions, my logic sensors reject the processed image. The shriek begins again, this time louder due to proximity. The scream forms words and I record, "She needs to know." The blue blur comes into a slightly sharper focus before it reaches out with a hand toward me. Again, words form from a scream. "Tell Leia I love her." Even though incomprehensible by my programming, the hazy blue light suddenly somehow physically touches my metal shell. Unauthorized contact. Protocol states that as such I am obligated to terminate my mission. My report remains incomplete, unable to send. Initiate self-destruct.
Pete's such a good writer, y'all. Oh my
Dude.
God.
Lucasfilm Publishing.
Pasta story.
Oh no, I don't know if I can handle that again. Oh my gosh,
That was great.
That's headcanon, and that is also like, I'm kind of okay with it
Yeah, me too.
because
The remains of Alderaan being haunted as shit.
Yes.
dude. Bria Organa, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, like, I kind of like the prospect now of it's not Force ghosts. It's like, because Force ghosts aren't like haunty ghosts.
No.
But like, Star Wars is so big, man. Have everything in it. Have the ghosts. We already have vampires. Let's not talk about it. But like, yes, please. Like that. I love that. Like Jarod, like you were saying, the like Alderaan being haunted, and Pete, killer of you to put like audio
Sound effects.
like just sound
Genius.
effects, all that, like the probe droid sound effects and everything.
Good.
That was, dude, that can be released as like a short story.
Oh, yeah.
Killed it, man. That is
amazing.
fantastic.
That was so good, Pete.
Jared, what'd you
It
think
was
of it?
So good, bro.
Your 2 cents.
It was great. Like I was kind of like preparing for it because I'm like, oh, it's a probe droid. Like it's gonna be some kind of like, this is the probe droid that we didn't see in Empire. Like maybe it's one of the other droids that went to another. Then it's like, the remains of the Alderaan system, and I was like, oh, space ghost, space ghost.
Space ghost. And not coast to coast. Not coast to coast, just an actual space ghost.
Yeah. So I was like, I was prepared for it, but it's still,
Oh my gosh.
it still shocked me and still gave me the heebie-jeebies.
That was good.
Just that this starts like as a scream. He hears a scream. Just like hearing that was genius to have it be a droid.
Yeah.
Because it's so mundane, but all of us are going, what?
Yeah.
Because it's like humans can't survive the vacuum of space. And then it's the castle. Holy crap, dude. That's just a good story. Like I want that just to be, these just all need to be in a book, frankly.
It's
Like,
great.
You guys you're killing it. You're killing it. All you guys.
It's great. It's like a myth and fable kind of feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
man.
It's got truth to it and
Yeah.
some kind of mystery to it. But on to our
She
last
needs to know.
one.
Talk about heartbreaking too. I'm sorry. She needs to know. I loved her.
No,
Oh.
that's great. That's great. So I'm going to get this last one pulled up, fellas, and then we'll wrap. This has been
Let's do it.
such
I'm
a
excited.
absolute joy. I hope everyone listening has got the heebie-jeebies, or at least really enjoyed just the feel of everything. So this one is by Cam Ray, and it's titled Pasta Wars. Don't know if he's got an actual title, but Pasta Wars. Yeah, Pasta Wars.
I
is what
accidentally
it's called.
clicked on this when I was trying to find the show notes, and I heard the beginning of it's going to be fantastic. Cam, I can't wait to listen to this, man.
Currently
let's get it.
collaborating with President Cam Ray right now on a Silver Color
What?
Knob song. Yeah, we're working.
You're
Yep.
burying the lead there, Scotty.
We are.
My
we are.
gosh.
I'm in
Okay.
talks with Cam almost every other couple of days. But anyway, here we go.
Let's do it.
Cam's, I'm stoked. This one is 8 minutes. This is going to be a dense one. It's going to be Rick McCallum dense. I'm stoked.
Let's do
Here we
it.
go.
I love dents.
A long time ago, in an olive garden far, far away. After months of sitting in canisters on a dusty shelf in the darkest corner of the kitchen, Linguini Skywalken and several other rogue pastas were finally chosen to be prepared for a special to-go order.
Hey, guys.
Oh my
Linguini said to his
god.
fellow rebel noodles, Han Solo Getty, Chewbacchioli, and Landozania Calrissian.
It's finally my turn to leave the canister and become the fish I've always dreamt of being. I have a great feeling about this. I will soon be covered in creamy Alfredo sauce and served to some special patrons. And if I'm lucky, I may even get to be topped with a dash of Princess Leia oregano. She is so spicy.
Not so fast, kid. Han Solo Getty cut in with an extra cockiness only a Solo Getty noodle could pull off with such likability. The princess of all the spices is mine. Besides, she's just
Somehow, I know.
responded Linguini, accepting the truth. Solo Getty continued. I heard that Don Vaderoni is coming here tonight, and he's hell-bent on devouring any pasta that touches his plate. Word is, Don Vaderoni is here on strict orders from Il Capo Paupa Rotini himself. And you know what that means. All noodles
He
will
couldn't
be
even
cooked
get
and
through that
digested.
without laughing.
Not even a dash of pasta residue remaining.
Pasta, eating a pasta. How perverse.
Commented C3PO.
Oh my god.
Rosé to D2 nodded and hummed in agreement.
Don Vaderoni is coming to our Olive Garden. I thought the Carrabba's Empire had no jurisdiction here.
Linguini puffed up with pride.
Stop.
Obi-Wan Kenobi won't let Vaderoni just devour us.
6 minutes left.
Stopped him once before. And do it again.
My abs hurt.
Landozania Calrissian was being brought down from the dusty pasta shelf as his attention was stolen by the princess of all the spices, Leia Oregano. She was already taking action.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're a only pastry. Only your sweet filling can lure Don Vaderoni away from this pasta eradication. What have we here?
Landozania crooned with delight, as he had never been in such close proximity to the princess. Just as he was about to make his move, another unexpected pasta interrupted from the other side of the kitchen. It was Boba Fettuccine, Don Vaderoni's #1 pasta hunter.
Oh my god.
Bacchioni and Landozania in the same kitchen. You guys are gonna be marinated with the fishes tonight. Don Vaderoni's on his way, and he'll devour you all. Especially with how fatty Landozania's looking. Calrissian puffed up.
Fatty how?
Well, you know, just you're fatty. Boba Fettuccine answered. Landozania started to boil.
No, I don't know. Fatty how? You mean because I'm a whiter noodle or something? I mean, maybe it's me. I'm trying to understand.
Do I amuse
I'm
you?
a stick of butter? I plump you up? What do you mean?
I just meant.
Fatty how?
Forget about it.
Too pushy.
How am I fatty? Stop it.
Funny how.
Weenie shouted as he noticed a familiar and sweet face emerge from the dessert tray.
No.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. I knew you would help us defeat Don Vaderoni. Ciao there.
Obi-Wan said, using his signature greeting. The kitchen door swung open unexpectedly to reveal the dominating presence of Don Vaderoni.
Boss!
Fettuccine shouted with relief. Look who I ran into.
Leave the noodles. Take the cannoli.
Vaderoni ordered calmly between breaths from his oxygen tank, and Fettuccine attempted to swipe up the wise old pastry. Out of nowhere, Linguini Skywalken was entwining Boba Fettuccine with his endless strands of al dente. With each twist and squeeze,
Jesus
the
Christ.
pasta hunter gushed into a pile of inedible carved mush. It was like poetry that rhymes. Caught up in stopping Boba Fettuccine, Luke Guini failed to notice Don Vaderoni move in with the grace of an angel hair and swipe Obi-Wan. Opening his watering mouth, Vaderoni instructed,
Never underestimate the power of a sweet tooth.
He began to lift the sweet old pastry to his face. Obi-Wan Kenobi looked at Linguini, Oregano, Sologhetti, Chubacchioli, and Landozania as though he had everything under control. Then, just before his sweet powdered sugar coating landed on Vaderoni's tongue, Obi-Wan disappeared into thin air, faster than a basket of freshly baked garlic breadsticks. No! Linguini cried, leaping forward, only to have his noodles cut in half by Vaderoni's pasta saber. In pain and embarrassment from now being too short to be a twirlable pasta, Linguini shouted,
You killed my godfather, Anakin Jabba, and now you have killed my mentor.
No,
Vaderoni replied.
No, I'm your godfather.
I am your godfather.
No!
Fell out again, ugly crying harder than he ever had. His temper tantrum was suddenly cut short as he, along with his pasta mates, were thrown into dough boxes and hurried out of the kitchen. They were free from the clutches of Don Vaderoni as they headed for a hopefully safe destination in the delivery van, the Olive Gardenian Falcon. Don Vaderoni returned to Il Capo Pauperotino in partial defeat.
Godfather, I have not failed you yet. Please, offer me another chance.
He asked, bowing with respect.
You come to my restaurant on this, the day of my clone's birthday, and ask me for a favor.
Oh my god.
Rotini questioned with an unnerving sound of impartiality.
Only because I believe Luke Guini can be a powerful asset to our Karaba's empire, Godfather. I ask that you allow me to turn Skywalker. If he will not join us, I will finish him off with a nice glass of Verdicchio.
Don Vaderoni hid the hesitation from his voice. After too many moments of silence, Palparotini glanced towards Vaderoni with his piercing, bloodshot eyes. Do it.
the accordion. That's what I imagine Pete would have wrote if he hadn't asked us what a creepypasta was.
Cam, how do we make that canon?
You, sir, are the man of 1,000 voices. That was a fantastic walk-in.
That was insane. That was more production value than anything we've ever done, Jerry.
I think so. Palparotini.
Oh my god. Wow. Y'all.
So, I'm just going to say this.
Go for it.
Myself, Travis, Levi, and Connor. That is half of the Nerd Academy that all are of Italian heritage.
On behalf of the Beyond the Blasters Network, we apologize.
Don't. Just don't. Because that was fucking glorious.
That was incredible. Cam. We have to have Cam on for behind the scenes of that.
Oh my gosh, yes. That was amazing.
That made all the spaghetti boys at the Nerd Academy very happy. That was great.
Wow.
I'm glad that he made Olive Garden the rebellion and Carrabba's the empire.
So good.
It seems like the other way around, but I actually like Olive Garden, even though it is called the Italian Denny's. I understand.
Oh.
I still like it.
That was so genius.
It's fancy on a budget. That
was so genius.
The Don Vaderoni. I was not prepared for the voice.
No, I
Don
was not prepared for that at
Vaderoni.
all. None of that I was prepared for.
I love.
I was not expecting.
I'm your godfather.
Like I was not expecting that.
That's the Godfather, but then you go to Palpatine. And, oh my gosh, it was like you got so many Godfather references and
was just
Goodfellas. Oh, mwah, bravissimo. Mwah. Oh, al dente.
I was
Mwah.
waiting for the Joe
Princess of-
Pesci, like, do I amuse you? Am I a clown? Do I make you laugh?
That was so good.
I'll go get my shine box.
I love the. I love the. Princess Leia oregano of all the spices.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my God.
Luke Guini Luke Guini was a Skywalking.
Yeah,
I think
I walk in.
I lost it when it got to Boba Fettuccine.
It's ridiculous.
We got to find a way to get
Oh my
both
God.
of those. The audio ones need to be on the website too. Like
Incredible.
those were so well done, guys. And you know what, Scotty? I know we've got to like break it off here and stuff, but Scotty, I think we need to officially say this is now a Bombadcast Halloween tradition.
100%.
Frankly, and honestly, Jarod, you can frickin' join us for every single one of those if you want to, man. This has been a blast. So thank you for coming.
I plan on coming with one locked and loaded next year.
Nice.
yeah.
I might actually dip my toe into it as well. Who knows? You
That
guys
was
can see how
fun,
bad of a
y'all.
writer I am. So
That
holy
was
cow.
so much fun.
That is amazing. Oh, we hope you guys have enjoyed it just as much as we have, because
Happy Halloween.
my abs were burning at the beginning of this. Like, I haven't laughed that hard in so long, Cam.
God, that was
so
good.
Thank you for giving my abs the first workout they've had during Rona. That was amazing.
That was just so special. Jarod, I'm so glad you can join us for this adventure, man. Where can
Me
everyone
too,
find
man.
you at? Where can everyone find y'all show and you in general?
You guys can find me at Dark Jedi 2552 on Instagram and Twitter. And you can find the Nerd Academy on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and on our website, www.thenerdacademypodcast.com. You can hear our shows wherever you get podcasts. We have the Nerd Academy podcast on Tuesdays. We have Campus Life every other Thursday. And we have Knights of the Nerd Republic on Sundays. And on our Patreon, if you click on the link on our website, it'll take you there. At the $5 level, you get to hear our Knights of the Nerd Republic Versus series every month. For Spooky Month, we did Darth Vader versus General Grievous. And for November, we're doing Kit Fisto versus the Grand Inquisitor. And like I referenced earlier, we have our new comic book show, which is called Heroic History 101, where Travis Grossman and I do reviews of older comic book stories. Our first episode is in our main podcast feed. We did Dan Slott's Superior Spider-Man. Like I said earlier, we did Blackest Night. And then next month, we're doing Brightest Day, the sequel to Blackest Night.
Cool.
So
Yeah,
check
man.
all that out. We got lots of fun stuff coming down the pipeline. Anybody who follows me on Twitter knows that I've been vaguely tweeting about Project Overhaul, which if you stay tuned to the Nerd Academy, big things come this way. And there's a big rollout on the horizon. I'm not going to say anything else because Project Overhaul is top secret. But
there we
yeah,
go.
so stay tuned
But
to
you-
that.
You can tell us when the mics go off, though. It's fine. It's fine. So I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. Oh, gosh, man. Jarod, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Oh my God! Thank you for having me on. I love TNAP Bombad collabs so much.
Oh, it's the best.
They're the most fun, man. Like coming on that. Seriously, if you are not following Nerd Academy, if you're not like subscribed to their stuff, go. They do a lot of great content. They cover all the nerd bases. Okay, so just go check them out. They have great TeePublic merch and stuff. It's on TeePublic, right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, if you if you go to our website and click Student Store, it'll take you right to the TeePublic.
Perfect. Yeah, go do that, guys. Support positive content and stuff, and support Jarod so he can come back on the show and we can go on his and all that kind of stuff. You know,
heck yeah.
We just like each other. That's just how it is.
He's our buddy.
Man, this seriously.
Absolutely.
Thank you all for contributing. Hopefully next year maybe we'll get even more. Who knows? Like, just guys, keep it coming. That was amazing. That was so fantastic.
So awesome.
And I think all of us have brand new headcanon. Like for the rest of our lives, probably. Like there were some legit good stories in there. These are gonna find their way onto the internet.
They have to.
If we have to burn one of David Amelotti's tank tops to get it on there, threaten to burn it, we will do it.
That's amazing.
I love you, David, but I will burn a tank top if we don't get these on the website.
Well, if you guys like this episode, please subscribe to Beyond the Blast Doors Network. Make sure you share this. Give us some 5-star reviews on iTunes. You can even review it on iTunes. You can review it, leave a bad review. As long as it's a review, we're good. If you really liked it, if you really wanted to support us, make sure you find our Patreon page. It is patreon.com/Beyond the Blast Doors. $5 a month will get you access to all these exclusive little shows Jerry and I have. It also give you exclusive contact with the people on the network. Maybe even give us some of your inputs and ideas, and we'll implement them. If you want to keep this online, make sure you follow us at beyondtheblasters.com, where you will find all of these fully written out or even fully audible on Halloween Day. Don't forget to follow us at Twitter at Bombadcast. And if you want to leave us a voicemail, it's 331-2BEYOND. That is 331-223-9663. Jarod, what should the wonderful people do to end this episode? A man familiar with this phrase?
They should be staying more bombard.
You went home down on us.
Have a good one, kiddo. That was amazing.
Oh,
Happy Halloween.
All Bombad.